Greetings, true believers, Gel Pass Spider-Man. Hey guys, good here. We're going to continue on with the Piff Box from Chad and move on to our next soap. Today I've got RazoRock Blue Fougere, which came in a little box in a chunk. Pulled some out and put it in my tub for lathering. Really hard to describe what the scent is. I went to the RazoRock website and it was very cryptic about what it was. It doesn't actually say what it is. It basically says if you're a fan of Italian shave products, then you'll recognize what it is. So apparently it's modeled after something. I have no idea what. At first I kind of get, I don't know, my first instinct was a little bit florally, but it's not really florally. So maybe there's just something a little bit in the background. And then it almost started to smell sweet, like a sugar cookie or something. Except more maybe like a snickerdoodle, because there's some spice going on. But then the more I smell it, I almost want to say it smells like bubblegum. So, I don't know. The best I can describe is like bubblegum and cookies. But really low. Like it's not overt, it's not super sweet. It just kind of has those kind of notes. So it's, I don't know, really hard to describe for me. And we're going to move on with day 2 of my Rockwell test shave. Trying plate number 3 today. Now one thing that I can't figure out is on the plates. So 1 and 3 are on the same plate. 2 and 4 are on the same plate. So they skipped, but then 5 and 6 are on the same plate. So can't figure out why they would do that instead of doing 1 and 2 on one and 3 and 4 on the other and then 5 and 6. I mean, the only thing that came to mind was just if people want 3 and 4 because they're kind of in the middle there, they have to get 2 different plates to get 3 and 4, whereas they could have been on the same one. And then people who don't like mild razors are never going to touch the 1-2 plate, and if you don't like aggressive razors, you're never going to touch the 5-6 plate. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but I don't know if they've changed that or if that's still the way the plates are, but it just seems weird to me. But we're going to go ahead and lather up the soap and see what it does. It's basically the same type of consistency as your typical Italian soft soaps. In fact, this one is called a cream soap, which makes sense from the consistency standpoint. It's a crope. Unlike my thoughts on the Beehive calling theirs a cream soap, because it is rather hard, but this is soft. It scoops out super easy. Basically, if you're familiar with Cella or P160, it's that same type of consistency on the soap base. Now that it's lathered, I'm getting less sweetness and more of that florally note. It's called a Blue Fougere, but it doesn't smell like any fougere that I've ever been acquaintanced with. And I do like fougeres. This one's just weird. Lather's definitely good. I'm just getting floral now. I don't get any sweetness now. Which, I mean, fougere just can mean anything. Just kind of means, I mean, fougere means fern, but it just kind of means like the scent of the forest floor, basically. Or just nature-y in general. But, so this kind of, I don't know, kind of smells like a field of flowers now. Doesn't, I mean, it's a blue fougere so it's, I mean, when I think fougere, I think green. I think plants. But blue fougere is kind of signifying that it's something other than green, so can't hold that against it. All right, so we'll see how it shades. You can definitely tell the difference between plate 3 and plate 2 from yesterday. You can feel the razor a bit more on my face, the blade. I'm gonna say initially I'm pretty impressed with this Rockwell. Especially just the heft of it. It's so much heavier than what I'm used to for my vintage Gillettes and my Merkur, which I've grown accustomed to using pressure with all my shaves. And kind of, you know, everybody preaches no pressure with your razors, but I always use pressure. But with this Rockwell, I'm definitely not using pressure. The weight of it is taking care of everything. Still just getting floral. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am a haphazard shaver. I don't follow any kind of pattern. I'm not necessarily a creature of habit with my passes. I go all over the place, bouncing back and forth from one spot to the other. Basically just cleaning up the lather as I go. If I skip a spot, then I'm gonna come back to it later and hit it again. still got some cleanup to do. So, not really super efficient on the past two. I don't even know why I put lather on for the third pass. Usually I just try to go in with the residual slickness and see what's there. Which it appears there was some. Just never really gave it a chance. Why? Because I'm a haphazard shaver. So far with these plates that I've been using, they're fairly mild, but it makes for a really easy, no thought shave. I don't really have to worry about the angle or worry about cutting myself. It's fairly intuitive. I'm digging it a lot, actually. So off of my initial thoughts of this, I would definitely pick up a Rockwell. And it would probably replace my Merkur as my daily go-to razor. But Dave, in the future, is also going to let me use his Carve and his Timeless. So I will be able to compare all three razors and make a decision for myself which ones I might want to add to my den in the future. So that's pretty good. Let's say that's BBS minus, I guess. I mean, I don't really rate my shaves that much, but I'm definitely pretty smooth. Just a few small areas that I could spend the next 10 minutes going over, but I'm not going to. But overall, that's a really good shave. Like if you just handed me this razor with this base plate and said that was the only base plate it came with, I'd be happy with this razor. So we'll use it again tomorrow, and we'll bump up to the 4, and we'll see where I'm at with that one. But right now, the 3 was really comfortable. Let's see if the 4 gets us some more efficiency. I don't really have any lasting notes. Just my face just smells like soap now. Just generic soap. No scent notes. That scent is not for me. I'll tell you about that right now. That I do not enjoy that scent a lot. It just, to me, all I get is floral now. Off the putt, I was getting some sweetness. I was getting some spiciness. But once I lathered it up, it was just floral. And I'm not huge on floral. Definitely don't really like rose. There's a couple of florals that I like. I like a little bit of lavender. I like lily of the valley. But when it gets all jumbled up and generic-y, not a fan. So I don't even know if that's what this is, but that's what it smells like to me. So I won't be keeping this soap for sure. So the RazoRock will be one that moves on to somebody else at some future point. And I found that I'm always skipping my aftershave, and I think it's because I don't typically pull my aftershave out ahead of time. I like to just pick it out on the fly. So when I'm doing these videos, I get caught up and talking about stuff, and I forget to go back and get my aftershave. So this time I pulled it out, going with the Davidoff cool water again. Thought it might go with the blue fougere a little bit because it's a blue aquatic, and it's a decent follow-up. I wasn't sure what I was going to think about the cool water initially. It's kind of cologne-y, but not enough to be bad. So I'm really digging the scent of this. So that's one that I think I'll be using a lot in the future. And so since I've got it, we'll go ahead and use the cool water eau de toilette to follow up. So that's today's shave. Again, not a fan of the blue fougere. The soap performed perfectly well. Nothing wrong with the soap base. Just didn't like the scent. But a big fan of the Rockwell, and looking forward to tomorrow's shave with plate number 4. So if you haven't joined us yet, check us out at the Shaving Cadre, www.shavingcadre.com. And I'm Spider, and we'll see you guys on the forums.